holiday and welcome to another one of my live stream lectures. And before I get into this very important topic, I just want to thank all of my supporters for supporting my channel. You know, my channel would not be where it's at today without all of my supporters. So with that being said, let's get on down to today's lecture, which is financial growth after retirement. You know, I've been wanting to do a lecture on this for a while now. Financial growth after retirement. You know, if the audience is aware, I fully retired September of 2023, and it'll soon be a solid year. You know, I retired from state government, the state of North Carolina, and relocated to Florida. And I was able to retire a little over 4 years early. And so all of this tips and strategies I'm going to give in relation to financial growth after retirement, I utilize all of these tips. And the number one tip is critical. I tell anybody, I don't care at what age you retire, rather you retire early or not, but irregardless of what age you retire and exit up out of this workforce, it is critical to enter retirement debt-free, no matter what age you retire. And what I mean by debt-free, yeah, you're going to have basic bills like your utilities, food, and cell phone bill and insurance. That's a given. But I'm talking about real debt like mortgage, car note, multiple vehicle notes, personal loans, school loans, credit cards, second mortgage, and for some people a third mortgage. That's real bills, people. That's real debt. So it is critical you enter retirement debt free. You know, I had a strategic plan on paper 10 years before I retired to make sure that I could exit up out of this workforce debt-free September of 2023. And that's the most powerful tip right there, because I know you may know of many people who are retired, but they entered retirement was deep in debt and literally had to return back to work to get a full-time job. That is not retirement, people. Retirement is when you ain't hitting nobody time clock, period. Don't have to, no need to, because you have planned and you have prepared. Another tip, a powerful tip in terms of financial growth after retirement, is have at least one other stream of income after retirement, and let that other stream of income be more from passive income versus active income. There's a degree of active action or steps that you may have to do towards passive income, but the majority of that money, the majority of that other stream of income should be from a passive source. You know, and that's why, you know, my company, Patterson Associates Resource Center, which is 20 plus years strong, generates me income in retirement. That income stream is pretty passive because I do consultant for people who want to hire me to go into an executed contract to develop their strategic business plan, or I have a cutoff on customers I serve. Everything is done telephonic, so I'm going to do it in the comforts of my home. I control on how much activity I want to utilize to generate that income from my company on my terms. But it is still a stream of income. It also generates passive income because a person can go on my business website and order other products on my store area of my business website. Rather, it's purchased in any format of my book, Awake Financial Freedom, which can be purchased in soft copy version, ebook version, Kindle version. They can order it from any major platform in the world, or they can go into any bookstore and order my book. So my book is generating passive income. I've already done the hard work behind the scene to get my book published. There's other services and products when you look on my business website in terms of I get referral bonuses from Robinhood if a person use one of my links to purchase Robinhood stock. There's all those options on there, so that ties into passive income. But understand, people, that my company, I did blood, sweat, and tears for over 20 plus years to develop and to cultivate and to nurture my company long before I retired. So that ties into ongoing passive income that Marie Holiday makes via my company with putting very little effort. So have at least one other form of income where that income is being generated more on the passive side versus the active side. Another tip I tell anybody is do not create new debt. I don't care if you're not in retirement. If you're trying to get out of debt and create financial freedom, and I talk about this in my book, do not, and I repeat, I'm going to say loud and clear, do not create new debt if you're trying to retire or if you're in retirement or any point in your life, because new debt is what get people into financial destruction on top of your regular bills. But in particular in retirement, do not create new debt in any shape, form, or fashion. If new debt does occur, eliminate that debt as rapidly as possible. If a new debt does occur that's pretty large, develop a game plan to eliminate that debt as rapid as possible, to return back down to your basic bills, your food, your cell phone bill, and insurance. That's it. Actually, I've been living a debt-free life years before I retired. Literally years. I came up out of financial destruction in 2012. I retired in 2023. So I was debt-free years before I retired. So what I look like creating new debt in retirement if I've been living a debt-free life years before retirement. But that's a powerful tip. Do not create new debt. Another way to financially grow after retirement is make sure your health is in the best health that it can be. Keep up with all your doctor's appointments, exercise, eat right, pay attention to your lab work. That's critical, because if you got all these health problems going on at any age, you ain't got to be retired, then you go into all these specialists, you're on all this medication. I don't care what kind of insurance you have, you are going to pay some kind of copay in money towards your medication and going to these specialists. So make sure your health is in the best health it can when you're on that strategy plan to retire at any age, and maintain it. You got to maintain your health in retirement. And I've always paid attention to my health. My lab work is phenomenal. I'm on no medication. Have never been on medication other than vitamins. And what that does is put me in a position where I'm not dishing out money going to doctor's appointments and all this medications. I can remember about maybe 13 or 14 years ago when I used to live in, maybe longer than that, maybe 17 or 18 years ago when I used to live in Atlanta, Georgia. And I will hang out at this Starbucks, just meeting many different people. And I met this one particular person who was retired. And all this person would talk about doing conversations at Starbucks was being consumed by going to 25 to 30 doctor's appointments a week. I mean, not a week, but a month. Her whole calendar was filled up with going to all of these doctor's appointments on a monthly basis, specialists, 5 or 6 different specialists, a primary doctor, all of these doctor's appointments. And I literally looked at her monthly calendar, and every single day on weekdays, Monday through Friday, she had booked appointments. And on some days, she had multiple appointments to go to in one day. And I'm just looking at this, and on a truckload of medication. And she was retired. And I'm thinking in my mind, to me, that's not the direction I'm going. So it's very important to make sure your health is in the best health that it can, especially in retirement, because what that's going to do is really be able to save you money versus spending your retirement income on all of these co-pays and medication, because you're still paying a co-pay for your meds. Continue to eliminate bills or fix bills in retirement. Do the best you can to continue to bring your bills down in retirement. In terms of you don't have to leave your lights on in every single room. Believe it or not, when you start eating healthy, your grocery bill will go down. Healthy eating. If you ain't buying the junk food and the candy and the cookies and the ice cream and the fast food, you can recoup $400 or $500 a month by eating healthy when you go to the grocery store. So begin to recoup all of this extra money that you've been throwing away. Then take that same money that you have recouped and increase your financial portfolio, increase your emergency savings account, ongoing in retirement. By the grace of God, because I'm utilizing all these tips, I'm getting very close to hitting 1 year in full retirement. Do not miss the workforce. Trust me, I pay my dues. I got more than enough to keep me busy. Because many people, when I talk to people, family members, people who know me, when they knew that I was getting ready to retire, I probably had 10 or 15 or 20 people ask me, are you going to get a job after you retire? No. For what? I have paid my dues. I've served in the military. I've worked in the workforce. I've worked in state government. I have paid my dues. I've been working since I've been 15 years old. No, I got plenty to do with my life. Trust me, and I'm here to tell you. So continue to reduce bills. Continue to eliminate debt. Right now, my goal is to get my bills down to as lowest as they can go. Because years before I retired, when I was still in the workforce, but I was getting ready to retire. Several years before I retired, because I had no debt, the totality, all of the bills I had in the world was $500 a month, for real. So what that did was, it allowed me to reinvest my entire paycheck from state government because my bills were so low, and I used my passive income to pay my $500 a month. And that's the totality of all of my bills. I'm in full retirement right now, and I'm going to get my bills even lower. Right now, the totality of all of the bills I have in the world is less than $1,100 a month, but it's about to drop down, back down to $500 in a hot minute when I finish this strategic business plan that I'm working on. So in reality, that's not a whole lot of bills. I've talked to a lot of people. They say they would love to have the totality of all the bills that they have in the world, less than $1,100 a month. But that's high for me, because I'm going to get it back down to $500 a month. So, and that's real talk, people. So because the totalities of all the bills I have in the world is less than $1,100, although that's high for me, I've been in the position for all of the retirement checks that I've been getting since I exited up out of the workforce. I have not touched that money. I'm able to reinvest my pension that I get from the state of North Carolina. I'm able to reinvest 100% of my pension every month that I've been getting into another retirement account. I don't even touch the money. I don't know nobody in the world who can do that. I literally reinvest my retirement check into another retirement fund. Because if you think about it, when I was in the workforce, the past several years when I was in the workforce, I was able to reinvest 100% of my paycheck into more retirement accounts, and I was using my passive income to pay my $500 a month totality of my bills. That's power, people. They didn't teach me this in graduate school. They don't teach you this in graduate school. it took me suffering 5 years of financial destruction and having a spiritual awakening in 2012 to write my manuscript and to write down what I went through. And I use my book as a powerful resource to sustain my financial freedom. Only thing college taught me was how to get deep in debt, credit card debt, school loan. That's what college teach you. They don't teach you this real talk that I'm talking about. This is real talk. And those are the financial tips and strategies that I use to continue to grow financially in retirement, to build my wealth, to reinvest my retirement checks, to reinvest all of my dividends on a monthly basis. I treat that money like it don't exist. And I'm here to tell you. And I just been informed by my retirement benefit people, my retirement check number 2, getting ready to hit October of this year, that money will be reinvested. And when I get old enough to get Social Security, then that'll be check number 3. I'm gonna just keep it going just like that, reinvest retirement check number 3, and continue to live off my passive income. That's power, people. That is power. And I tell anybody, and how you pass down generational wealth. Have that will in place. Have that will in place. So with my retirement income from the state of North Carolina, it's one of the best in the world. It's better than military retirement. In the event if I was to die right now, all of my retirement income from the state of North Carolina will go to my daughter for the rest of her life. That money will never run out. So she will literally get my retirement pension from the state of North Carolina. In the event something happened to me at any age, and she's 31 years old, she would immediately get that retirement pension for the rest of her life. And when she dies, that money will be transferred down my bloodline to infinity. That money will never run out. That is power. That is how you pass down generational wealth. And I spoke to a lot of people. They say typically when a person died, their pension go to the spouse if they got one, but not forever. That's a powerful, powerful retirement fund that blows my mind. The military ain't even that good. So I say that to say that's how you continue to build financial growth in retirement and pass down that generational wealth. And again, they didn't teach me this in school. Another tip and strategy to grow financially in retirement is downsize. You gotta downsize. And I've been living a minimalistic life for well over going on 10 years. You gotta downsize to a minimalistic living. This is another powerful book that I read, The Minimalistic Budget. And when I paid off my mortgage 20 years early and sold the big fat house in North Carolina, made a huge profit, I reinvested 80% of that profit into more of my financial portfolio. Use a piece of that to buy me a mobile home on a piece of land in cash, and the rest is history. But you got to be willing to downsize. Because one of the things I was not going to do is take that profit and turn around and get another big fat mortgage knowing I was going into retirement. That don't even make no sense. That don't even if I wouldn't have been retired, I had been living a minimalistic lifestyle. Minimalism don't mean you're not spending money. No, it means you are very intentional and strategic with your money. And that's a big difference. So you got to downsize to a minimalistic living. Minimalistic downsizing also ties into eating right, your health and wellness, being intentional with your money, doing everything in cash, not creating new debt. All of that ties into a minimalistic lifestyle and a minimalistic budget. If you have not read this book, I'm telling you, this is a powerful book, The Minimalistic Budget. Anybody, any age, need to read this book. I don't even know this author, but the book is good. And I endorse everything that's on these pages because it mirrors that with a lot of things I talk about in Awake Financial Freedom. So minimalistic budget will have a direct positive impact on financial growth after retirement. Another key piece in terms of financial growth in retirement, turn your home into a paradise and create your hobbies. Hobbies don't always mean to spend the money. You know, you can have a hobby of hanging out, turn your home into a paradise, connect more with spirituality. All of that is so important in terms of financial growth, because when your spirit is at peace, it opens up your mind on other ways to be strategic with your money, on other ways to live that minimalistic lifestyle. Because I'm always coming up with ideas on how to create more passive streams of income, because I'm beginning to see the power of when you have these other streams of income, then your primary income, you ain't even touching it. It don't even exist at all. So now with your other streams of income, if your bills are already low, go ahead and pay your little bills every month. And actually, with a lot of my passive income that I'm making, I reinvest a lot of that. So I say that to say, you know, when your spirit is at peace and your mind is at peace, you're meditating, then you're clear, you're focused, and you're coming up with what you're thinking. You're analyzing every situation. You're thinking, and you can grow financially. You can grow spiritually. You can grow physically, in any shape, form, or fashion. Another key in terms of growing financially in retirement is budget all your vacations and do it in cash. Do not create debt going on vacation. That don't even make no sense. Plan it, budget, do that vacation in cash, because you can use your debit card. It's coming straight out of your account, so you can use that debit card to in terms of going on vacation, with the money coming directly out of your account. So you are not creating new debt. I don't fool with credit cards. I ain't had a credit card, own a credit card in about 10 years. So budget your vacation, do everything in cash. So when you go on that vacation, you're going to enjoy that vacation, because you're not creating new debt. Because in reality, you got folks out there taking out personal loans to go on vacation, charging everything up on their credit card to go on vacation, pulling money out of their 401 to take a vacation. Really? That is all a recipe for financial destruction. If you got to do all that to take a vacation, you might need to rethink that. Because I'm thinking with my thought, my thought process, if a person's creating debt to take a vacation, pulling money out of their 401, getting a personal loan, charging credit cards, if they're doing all that to take a vacation, then you might not need to take that vacation. You might need to have some emotional maturity to budget and save for that vacation without creating new debt. Because if you're doing all that, then I'm thinking, how in the world can you enjoy that vacation if you have created financial destruction just to take that vacation? So budget all these vacations, do it in cash. You know, when I took my guided tour to Cairo, Egypt, I did it in cash. Kept all my receipts, because I'm a content creator. And turned around, and all of the money that I spent on that guided tour to Cairo, I turned around and wrote it off as a business expense, because I deliberately did a lot of live footage when I was over there to show all of my receipts to my certified public accountant. You know, my 1099 from YouTube to show evidence I'm a 1099 content creator, and then the evidence to support the live footage when I went over there. I didn't do live footage on everywhere we went over there, but I did just enough to justify to write off that trip to Cairo as a 100% business expense. So I didn't really lose anything. And when I got ready to file for my business and personal taxes, and that's one of the reasons why you need to have another stream of income, your own business, so you can begin to start writing off all these things from a business perspective. Another key piece in terms of financial growth after retirement is do not loan money every time somebody want to get in a situation in calling you up to borrow your money. Because a lot of times, you know, people have the mindset just because you're retired, you're loaded with money. I'm not loaded with money. No, I'm just strategic with my money. I'm intentional with my money. I pay my dues. And I remember times throughout my working career, you know, working 3 jobs. I worked 3 jobs to get my daughter through college. I worked multiple jobs to eliminate debt prior to retirement. I have paid my dues. Trust me. I have delayed gratification to reach it to the finish line. So, and I'm sure ain't pulling no money out of my 401 to belong to nobody. It is okay in saying no. Your spirit will discern on when it's serious. But, you know, a lot of times people will be calling you every week. You know, I need money for my light bill. I need more money for my rent. I need more money for my mortgage. I need money for my car note every month. I need money for a grocery bill. My car flat. I need money to get new tires. So they're utilizing you as an ATM machine. And do not fall victim to that. It is okay in saying no. What you can do is educate them real quickly on budgeting your money, educating them on how to eliminate debt. And when you pay off that debt, use that same money to put into your emergency savings account. You can give them some of these resources on budgeting, financial freedom, but minimalistic budget. You can give them powerful resources to empower them versus enabling them, and that's real talk. Another key piece in terms of financial growth in retirement is you gotta stay on budget. You gotta have a budget. You gotta follow that budget. You gotta check your what's coming in, what's coming out. You gotta check your financial health on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis. You know, when I say financial health, you're checking your bank account, you're looking at your financial portfolio, you're seeing your growth in your dividends, you're monitoring all of that on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. Know what your debt to income ratio is, know what your credit score is. So you got to pay attention to your financial health. You got to have a budget. You got to stay on budget. And these are all of some powerful financial tips on how I have been able to continue to grow financially well beyond retirement. But make no mistake, I don't want to negate the fact that I had a strategic plan on paper to exit up out of this workforce. I had that plan on paper 10 years in the future on all of the steps that I was going to take in 10 years to be able to retire. I can literally remember when I wrote it down on paper. This is what I must do, goals and objectives, measurable objectives that tied into the goal on the steps that I had. And I literally visualized in my mind going to HR and applying for my retirement package. Literally, I visualized that 10 years in the future. And I can literally remember when the day came when I went to HR on my job and submitted my information to retire the latter part of August of 2023. And I exited up out of the workforce forever, September the 6th. 2023, and the rest is history. So this is real talk, people, because you don't have to work yourself to death. You do not have to work yourself to the grave. There is a way out. It really is. And that all begins with a shift in your mindset. Because if I would not have shifted my mindset when I was living in financial destruction from 2007 to 2012, creating catastrophic financial destruction in that time in my life, if I would not have shifted my mindset, I would still be working 2 and 3 jobs right now, drowning in a sea of debt with no way out. You got to shift your mindset, and it's real talk. So share this topic. Someone may need to hear this. And again, these are financial tips I will use for the rest of my life. As long as God give me breath, I will use these financial tips for the remainder of my life and begin to start going to visit the rest of these 7 wonders of the world. That's the trajectory path that I'm on. That is retirement versus working another job in retirement. So that's all I have, ladies and gentlemen. Mark your calendar for July 27th at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Lecture on full copy edit. I'm going to present my edited, accepted manuscript done by Page Publishing Company at that time. So if you want to find out how that read, mark your calendar, July 27th at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be ready to get down to business. That's all I have. Simple fidelity, and I'm going to leave in the care of your own conscience. Have a great day.